recording now.
Okay.
Okay.
Good evening to everyone. Welcome once again. Timothy here. So I'll be taking you through captioning images. So I'll begin with what I call the 5 Ws of captioning. Basically, this is a set of questions that helps provide comprehensive information about a particular photograph. And for a caption to be effective, it should include elements to help the reader easily identify the key details. So when a viewer or a reader reads your caption, they should be able to understand the photograph based on the information you're giving them and context of the story behind the image. So the 5 questions of the 5 elements under the 5 Ws are who, what, where, and why. So when we go to the first one, who, you have to identify the subject or individual in the image. In this instance, with Wiki Loves Earth, we are working with animals or birds. So let's assume you shot an elephant. Mm. You have to make some research and identify, let us know which elephant is it, because there are so many types of elephants, the Asian elephants, the African elephants. So it's important that as you're captioning your images, you use Google to find out which kind of elephants are in that national park. There are also some books out there which may be expensive, but there are books that identify animals. They're actually guides. There are some sold in Aristoc, but Aristoc Acacia Mall closed down, so you can only find them in Aristoc in town. Actually, even Shalom had one. The one she had was actually. But if you don't have those books, you can always use Google. Then after Google, you can use AI, but I recommend Google first. Don't depend so much on AI. So that if it is documentary photography that like we usually do, where you're documenting people, then it is important you find out the name of the person. Usually, when you go to fields to shoot, some people just shoot portraits and forget to to ask for the name of the individual. So if you're doing a photo story, it's always important to ask some background information of who the person is, what do they do. So the who is not just about a name, but it could also evolve of who is this person. Imagine you took a portrait of me. You'd have to know my name, my profession, what do I do, something like that. So this includes species for wildlife and people or any relevant character. Yeah. Feel free to ask me any question as we go along. Then the other W is the what. So you describe what is happening in the image. For example, if it's maybe a portrait, yeah, you could just say it's a portrait. If maybe an elephant is fighting, you describe that. So basically, the what is more about the action or behaviors or the event you captured. Yeah. So what is really happening? Then the where. So you specify the location. For example, in this case, you say Lake Mburo National Park. That's where you photographed that animal from, because there are so many national parks within Uganda. Sometimes location could even go to as far as country or district. Yeah. But usually when you say the national park, then maybe someone can know that this national park is in Uganda. Yeah, but you always have to include the where. So this could be a specific place, such as a national park, city, or geographic region. So there always has to be that element of where did you photograph this. Yeah. Then we have the when. So, just a moment. I am using my PC because I cannot see. My eyes are too. Just a moment. So there is. Right. So, uh, any questions for now? As my PC goes back on.
Yeah, on the what,
Mm,
what like in case of, like, for example, landscape. If I'm having like a landscape image,
mm,
like, how can I describe what is happening in a landscape image?
mm. Oh, because in that okay, in that sense, the what may not necessarily apply.
Mm.
Sometimes when you're describing these places, where you don't necessarily include all the five W's, but there has to be at least four. Yeah, because now a landscape is just a landscape. There is no action there. At least you have to tell us uh what landscape that is, where it is. Yeah. And you see, for a landscape, it not being a person, the who may not apply. Like, it's not a person, but you have to tell us the name of the landscape. Do I make sense?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So, you 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 can always use these five W's in the sense that okay, you can list them aside to guide you, but in some instance, when there is no action, I think you can miss out the what. For example, if for example, if I was describing an image of Nyakashura Falls, I could say Nyakashura Falls, located in Fort Portal. I then taken on the day where you took it. Yeah. Mm, I did some image samples. I'll explain that, but a little more. But for a place where there is no action, I think you can leave that out. Vanessa, what do you think? I may be wrong. Melando.
You. Uh, if there's no action, you just describe what that image is. If there is not no action involved in it, yeah, or what's in the image, or like what. Okay, the others describe it, but yeah, what it is.
Okay. I'm almost there. Any other question? Thank you, Jeffrey, for that. Same thing. If it's a portrait of an individual, you may not describe the what because there is no action there, but you may tell us more about who this person is and maybe where you took the photo from and when. At least one thing that doesn't miss out is the when, because when is a matter of time. At any one point in time, you should have photographed that photo on a particular date. Sorry about the delay. Oh, good. I'm opening my Microsoft. It's taking good to respond. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I think I had stopped on my PC is back on. Okay. So I had stopped on what, right? Okay. So
Yes.
can you get okay, I'm going to proceed with the where. So with the where, you're specifying the location of the image, where the image was taken. So this where could involve which national park you took the image from, which district, which country. You don't have to include all the three, but at least you should include one of those. Most importantly, the primary where is the actual location. For example, if you're in Lake Kimbura National Park, you specify that. If you're in Queen Elizabeth, you specify that because we're in different places. You could have photographed an animal at Lake Mburo or Queen Elizabeth. So the viewer would want to understand where this animal is, given the fact that different animals reside in different parks. There are some animals you can find in Lake Mburo that you'll not find in Queen Elizabeth. For example, I don't remember seeing a zebra in Queen Elizabeth. Yeah, so that is where it's important to specify where. So this could be this is basically a park, city, or geographical region. Then the when. So the when provides the time or season when the image was captured. Usually when I'm working with the when, I specify the date. So it's very easy to forget the date you photographed these images, but depending on which image viewer you're using, you can always get the information. I use Firstone image viewer. So when I check the information, and I can always know the date when I photographed this image. Please take note, there are two types of dates. When you have edited and you've exported, there is a date of export when you exported that image. However, there is a date when you photographed that image. Actually, that metadata is also captured by Wikicommons. The moment you upload your image, it will show those details, even the camera settings. Yeah, so you can always use that as your when because it captures the date. You don't necessarily have to tell us the time, really. Maybe 5 p.m. or what. You could use another form of timing, could be maybe the season, or you could say in the evening, during sunrise or sunset, Yeah. Most important thing me what I follow is date to me. Then the why. The why explains the significance or context of the image. So this includes reasons for capturing the moment, the importance of the subject matter, or any relevant background information. So for purposes of Wiki Loves Art, this why goes under the description. So the first four W's will apply to the caption. Yeah. That and I'll later get into the ABCs of captioning, but a caption is always brief. Yeah. Actually, a real caption should be a sentence, one. But when it gets to the why, that's when we put in this background information of maybe why does a zebra have stripes? How important are they? How do they live? They live in herds or they live alone? That actually me when I'm working, I've come to realize that it's when you're working with a why, it's more captivating if you're telling us facts. Last year I used a bit of AI, but when I compared it with my captioning this year, when I was researching, when you use AI, it will get descriptive, but it will not give you facts depending on which prompt you use. So I'm not going to say I desist you from using AI. I think you have to be careful about how you use AI. The more you use it, then you understand how to use it right. Because if you use it just like any other person, then the person will not be captivated to read the information in your image. But if you give us facts about that particular animal that I didn't know, then I'll be captivated to read more about your image. Yeah. Yeah. So that is where the background information of the subject matter. So these questions provide a clear, informative description, helping the viewer understand the content and context of the photograph. So usually, when I talk about captioning, these are the 5 Ws. So I usually talk about. Yeah. At this juncture, I allow questions and submissions and additions. Anyone is free to add to this before I proceed.
On the why, would it be relevant to mention that, for example, if I capture a photo of an elephant, and on the why I add
Mm.
the reason that you know this image was captured as part of the Wiki Loves Earth photography contests, or Wiki Loves Earth photo hunt in Uganda 2024. Like, would that information be relevant for why, or that is like beyond the scope of the captioning?
Uh, I as a reader or a viewer, I would first of all, I think I would consider it irrelevant. Why? Because okay, there is already a tag of images from Wikilabs. Imagine someone has gone to the link of images of Wikilabs Earth. Sorry, what is that category? Images from
Images from Wiki Loves
Wikilabs
Earth
Earth.
2024 in Uganda.
Yes. So by the fact that someone has clicked on that, they already know where these images are. Yeah.
Mm,
So that to me, it's okay to disagree. To me, that information is irrelevant because I already have an idea of where these images are from. However, if you took an image of an elephant, hmm, let's assume that elephant was fighting, or that elephant was blowing dust on its skin, and then you told me the reason why it blows dust on its
mm,
skin,
mm,
or why it does that as a behavior.
mm,
For me as the viewer,
mm.
you get the point. Eh?
Yes, yes, yes,
So
yes.
this background information has to delve into why is the animal doing what it's doing.
Mm,
Yeah. For example, we saw elephants. Giraffes fighting. I captured that image. So
mm,
it is upon me now to research into why do giraffes fight using their necks. Mm?
mm, mm,
There's an image I have where giraffes bend to take water.
mm,
So you research into the mechanism of them bending to take water. Yeah.
mm,
Yeah.
mm,
So that is where the why is. So that the background information, okay, that information you would say of this image was taken from under the campaign of Wikiloves Act 2024. It would be relevant, but not as relevant as you telling me why
mm,
a particular animal is
mm.
behaving the way it is. Yeah.
Okay.
So that is what the why.
Why the buffalo is a bachelor and is living alone somewhere.
Exactly. That is more interesting. Why a hippopotamus wallows in mud?
Mm, 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 mm,
Or like why is it that buffaloes move in herds? Why don't they move alone? You know?
mm,
Yeah, so that is where the why comes in. So any information may be fine, but it's important to look at captivating the viewer. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, thanks you, Geoffrey. Any other question? Vanessa, do you have something to add?
I would only say I agree with what you were saying. It's more important to tell what to give more detail about what is in the image than why exactly it was taken for, or maybe for what cause, I think, especially when it comes to this competition, because at the end of the day, these images are going to might probably be used by some people, some organizations, and it's more relevant to describe what exactly is going on in the image than the wiki loves us.
Okay, thank you, Vanessa. Warm welcome to Shafiq and All Black. Are you guys together?
Yeah, I'm actually together with you guys, and yeah, I like the ideas you guys are bringing up on how to caption the pictures. Yeah, that's really beautiful.
Okay, allow me to proceed. Geoffrey, please scroll to the next page. Yeah, so today when I was researching as I was preparing for this presentation, I also bumped into what they call the ABCs of captioning. So they are almost the same but different in relation to the 5 Ws as we are going to say, but it's also another guideline. And they go through up to D, much as they're usually known as the ABCs of captioning. The number one is accuracy, standing for A. So you have to ensure that the information in the caption is factual, correct, and accurate, represents the content of the image. So for example, if you name an African elephant and then you tell us it's an Asian elephant, you're already not accurate. Yeah. Or if, for example, me who I took some photographs of birds and other people. If you give us a wrong name of a bird, someone can come and urge you and tell you, no, this bird is not, that's not the name of the bird. Yeah. So it's important that when you're doing this form of photography, that is wildlife photography, take time to research the actual names of these animals. How you find out? Simply put, for example, if it's a buffalo, you just say what kind of buffaloes are found in this national park, and then Google will give you the names because there are various species of buffaloes. The ones in Uganda's national parks are called Cape buffaloes. Yeah, so you have to be accurate. When it comes to people, you have to be accurate with people's names. Yeah. But I'll base so much on wildlife since it's what we are doing. Then B stands for brief. So the caption has to be concise and to the point. That goes back to what I was saying. The caption has to be at least 1 or 2 sentences. Actually, even Wikicommons limits you. So if you have a paragraph of a caption, it will cut it short. Yeah. So avoid unnecessary details. That they are not necessarily unnecessary, but for Wiki Loves Earth, that those details would go under description. Yeah. So whenever you're starting a caption, it should involve the 4 Ws, and the why goes in the description. Yeah, so avoid unnecessary detail and focus on conveying key information. And then C is clear. So use language that is clear and easily understood by the intended audience. Avoid jargon.
Can I ask a
Avoid
question?
jargon. Yeah, please go ahead.
So back to the brief. For the caption, do you still have to mention like dates, location, things like
Yes.
that, or that's something you can put in the description
No,
instead?
all that should go in the caption.
Okay.
Then the why should go in the description. Okay, that's how I do it. Yeah.
How about if you're giving like a unique perspective, like like let's say elephants fighting, so you want
Mm,
to give the reason as to why elephants are fighting. Is that
mm.
something you should mention in the caption or in the description?
I would mention that in the description. But
Uh,
when I'm okay, if the elephants are fighting, I would say a pair of maybe African buffaloes fighting at Queen Elizabeth National Park on this day.
mm-hmm.
You get?
Mm,
I've mentioned the action, yeah,
mm.
the what, where. Now in the description, I would then go further to explain why elephants fight. Maybe I say elephants fight as a way of marking territory, dominance in the family. That is depending on what I have researched.
Okay.
You get?
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank
but
you.
when I'm captioning, I just hint on what is happening.
All right.
Yeah. So back to the sea. So try to avoid big words. Usually AI has those big words. So try to avoid them. Try to be as simple as possible. However, wildlife lingua is also complicated, so you may not be able to avoid that, especially when it comes to the scientific names of these animals. That you can't do away with. Then descriptive, provide descriptive details. Now this goes under the why, yeah. That is why the why is the last one, to enhance understanding of the image. So you describe the subject, action, settings, and any other relevant elements. Engaging, make a caption engaging using descriptive language, evoking emotions, telling a compelling story related to the image. This also relates more to background information. Yeah. Any questions on these ABCs? Sandra? Sandra,
Yes, my dear.
is everything clear?
Yeah, everything is clear. I think I will ask you later on some of the AI tools that you used, or apps. I don't know if it's called apps or tools. I don't know.
The apps to do what?
Of course, you said you used AI for in the past for describing photos.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. When you're
So I
using
wanted to
AI
know
to
what
describe, when you're
AI.
using AI to describe a photo, it will not give you facts. Okay, and also, by the way, when you're using AI, it's also about how you prompt it to describe a photo. If you tell it, maybe describe for me an image of a buffalo I took at Lake Mburo National Park, it is going to give you a description that is poetic and artistic, in the sense that maybe it will tell you that buffalo is against. It will imagine basically, yeah. So away from that form of captioning, of that form of description, which is just exaggerative, yeah, I may put it like that. It is better I give a more factual description, because I find that factual descriptions are more compelling. Yeah. Yeah. So I recommend that you use Google, and if you're to use AI, use it to get facts, especially when it comes to description. Yeah, so you have to be a little careful how you use AI. But I'm not saying don't use it. Use it, but you have to be cautious. So putting into consideration the above principles, I used 3 images I captioned to explain the above concepts better in relation to the Wikiloves Earth photo contest. Jeffrey, kindly scroll to the next page. Okay, so this is an image I captioned. So this is called a bushel zebra. Yeah. So the title, one thing about Wikicommons, it's important that when you're giving your images titles, there are so many ways of giving titles to an image. You could be poetic, yeah, or you could be factual with your title. Being factual is giving us the name of that animal. For example, this is a bushel zebra, yeah, that's a fact. So when a scientist or someone who is writing an article wants to write articles about this zebra, when they go to Wikicommons, they'll type in either zebra or bushel zebra, and then your image will come up. So it's easier to find your image by that title. So you'll find that if you give your images very poetic titles, they may not be able to be seen, depending on the person that wants them. That's my perspective. So when you go to the caption, you see mine is a sentence. What is it? It's a bushel zebra amongst a herd where in Lake Mburo National Park on 31st May. Yeah. So here maybe what we would call the action is the what is it's amongst a herd. Yeah. Yeah. But there is nothing really happening in that image. It's more of a portrait. Yeah. So now when
Timothy,
we go to the what, yes, please.
is it necessary to put the date?
Yes, it
Since
is.
that would come, how they call it? That would come in the
Metadata.
when you, yeah,
Mm,
like you put
it
it in the
is
caption.
yeah, it's always important to put it in the caption because someone may not run to the metadata immediately, but they may read your caption first. So it's always important to put some of these things in the caption. And usually the 5 W's are the basics of captioning. I mean the main principles of captioning. So when you miss out the date, you can miss out the what, but you cannot
Timothy.
miss out that. Yes, please.
Okay. I wanted to ask a question before, but I was not passing through. So in captioning,
Mm.
I was asking, for example, if you take a photo like in Kenya, right now what is happening, and you take a photo of a rioter, and then you caption it like maybe saying a rioter on the streets of Kenya, let's say. You've
Mm.
what? So
Mm.
in the when, isn't
Mm.
it okay to say in times when Kenya was in turmoil, or you say during the riots of Kenya of 2024, something like that on the when?
When you say maybe during turmoil or in riots, you see by you saying 2024, you have first of all given us the when, because Kenya has had so many riots. Yeah. So when you give us a marker of when, you're zeroing down to which riot, or which year. So better off also if you give us a month and day, because who knows, there could be another riot in months to come. So usually me when I'm captioning, I try to tie down my images to dates, because when you leave it hanging, someone may not know when it happened.
Oh, okay, because I usually see photos and they are like in the description there someone talks about this one like this is let's say like Titanic as it sailed off. Then maybe in the description they put this was during World War One. This was during the period of World War One, something like that.
Okay, yes, that would be fine because there are two perspectives. One, if you're using someone else's image, maybe let's say someone photographed Titanic, you may not be very sure the exact date when they took that image. Yeah. But here, when you're the photographer, it's very easy for you to trace down the exact date, so that if another person uses it, they also have an idea of which date. But for images that were taken back in history, for example, if you have a portrait of Kabaka Mutesa, the first president of Uganda, it may be hard to know the actual date, but you may trace and say during 1962 when Uganda had first got its independence. But here, when we are talking about when, we are looking at you describing your own photo, implying it is easier for you to know when you photographed it. Because if you don't give us that information, it is very easy for other people to misuse your images. Whenever I don't give your images, whenever I don't give right factual information about your images, it's very easy for them to be misused. Imagine, let's say you are photographing an image of a riot and two things happened on different days. Yeah. And you want to know when this photo was taken. Someone may be doing research and they want to find out, did this image happen on the same day when the Kenyan parliament was invaded and burnt down, or a day before? So as a journalist capturing such a riot, it would be good that if you're putting out your images, let's say on social media, you attach a date. However, for social media, you can break the laws. Yeah. This is more of for things like this photo contest, or maybe you're publishing your work with big publications or newspapers. They will always want to know a date. Yeah. That also goes
Okay,
to
thank you.
the time of.
I was saying thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Sandra, did I answer you well?
Yeah, you did.
Okay.
Thank
So
you.
proceeding to the description. So visual zebras belong to the horse family. That is why zebras look a little bit like horses. Now, we are starting to describe them. They are called so because they were named British explorer and natural scientist William John Bushell. So this may be interesting to someone viewing this image, because someone may wonder, where does Bushell come from? Their stripes are broader with an eye-catching bright white color. Each zebra has a unique and different pattern of stripes. The stripes are a type of camouflage that enables the zebras to hide from predators such as lions. A female zebra is called a mare, and the male is a stallion. Bushel zebras are social animals that live in a small to large herd known as harem, led by a stallion, while the rest follow their grazing habits. Their grazing habits play a crucial role in maintaining the balance of their ecosystem, shaping vegetation patterns and providing food for predators. Because these are herbivores, but they could also be food to predators. So you see, my entire description is all about facts. I'm going to request you to put the same. You go, if any of you has ChatGPT, you say, I took an image of a bush zebra in Lake Mburo National Park. Help me describe the image, and you see what description you get as I come. Excuse me.
Mr. Geoffrey.
Yes, Miss.
Jeffrey, could you help us read out some of that and we see? Okay. Okay, I've zoomed in. So, yeah, Jeffrey has done this, and AI says, absolutely, here are a few options for describing a bushel zebra photo from Lake Mburo National Park. A lone bushel zebra stands silhouetted against the golden light of the savannah in Lake Mburo National Park. Its bold stripes are vividly defined, a stark contrast to the soft hues of the grassland behind it. So, using this first example, yeah, you see now this is where AI goes wrong when you're using AI to describe your images. So, first of all, it's saying it's a lone zebra, yeah. If you look at that image, that zebra was amongst a herd of zebras, and it is saying it is standing silhouetted against the golden light. There is no golden light there of the savannah in Lake Mburo National Park. Of course, AI is now using a fact that I gave it the information of Lake Mburo National Park. Its bold stripes are vividly defined and a stark contrast to the soft hues of the grassland behind it. Yeah. So this is what I was meaning with AI. AI gets poetic about your description, but it doesn't give you facts much as it if you ask it right. If you tell it to give you some facts about bushel zebras, it will, and you compare it with those at in Google, and then you edit. But if you just tell it to describe your image, depending on what you've told it, it will get creative and sometimes exaggerative. I don't know if I hope I am communicating.
Yeah,
Sandra.
I think for me, yeah, the exaggeration, the exaggeration
Mm,
it makes is what also I yeah kind of puts me off to use it for captioning and descriptions, because I think Wikipedia principles always advocate for facts and
mm,
writing like from a neutral, unbiased point of view. So whenever I use like this
mm,
language, which is like used by people who are maybe writing, maybe for a magazine that is marketing something, like that kind of
mm.
language is not encouraged for Wikipedia. So yeah, that's why I think I totally agree with you that yeah, sometimes this language doesn't sound neutral. Just like there is a lot of, I don't know which word to use, but yeah, it's like praising so much and moving
Yeah.
from the facts. Yeah.
Geoffrey,
Mm.
just to check in, I don't know who is this, Ian? Is it Ian? Someone joined in. I just admitted someone, but the name, maybe you could
Isn't it
introduce
Joseph?
yourself.
Yeah, this is Joseph. Sorry, I used my phone is down, so I used my
Okay,
cousin's phone. Yeah.
all right.
Joseph.
Welcome.
Hi, Joff. Hope everyone is doing well.
You're welcome.
And welcome all black and Shafiq.
Uh,
Thank you.
and the thing of it,
Mm,
I wanted to come in a bit on that point of AI. So I believe, okay, I used to like it also when AI had come, but okay, recently I'm not a big fan of it. Also, not a too big fan, but I still use it a bit. But I think other AI tools are better than ChatGPT now. Like the one I told you, the Copilot, I think is better because for it, even before you start giving it prompts, it asks, okay, you can specify if you want it to be creative, if you want it to be so precise, if you want it to be accurate, you can specify and start. If you tell it to be so precise, it will give you just like it can even give you like bullets, just or just simple facts. And as you've said also, it depends on how you prompt it. Whatever you tell it to do is what it will do. Oh, the only thing I like about AI is that it gives especially like Copilot, like a natural language or sentence flow, which most of us I write the so most times when I write some sentences, I compare them with like a prompt like AI has given me. I feel like the flow of AI is better, and it's using better words and better sentence construction. That's the only thing that I would use it for. But as you've said, descriptions you should try to make them your own, or prompt AI to give you ideas that you can use to construct your own descriptions and captions. Thank you.
Thank you, Alvin. Sandra, you have a hand raised.
Yes, sir. So I think I wanted to add on to what Alvin submitted. So I remember also during the, is it Wikileaks folklore? There was a session for for photo uploads. So what happened is that there were suggestions of different AI, and I remember I think I used Copilot. So how I used it was it's a bit hectic, but you upload a photo and then it's able to describe for you what is in the photo, which I thought was
Mm,
a bit natural and accurate. But what people should know is that I think AI is actually good, but it depends on how you prompt it. But also, it's used just to give you or an overview or a mindset or a perspective of how you should be able to describe whatever you're doing, and not give you and not say that everything about it is correct. Yeah, so I think
mm,
AI is really something, that a tool that could be used to support us to do what we might not be thinking of. For example, if you upload a photo, some of the words you might have not thought of, but I think having that proper thinking can really enhance how we can describe our photos. Yeah, but Timothy, maybe later on, you could also share how you use Google to help you describe photos. Thank you.
okay, so when I'm using Google, for example, if let me use this image as still the example. I mainly used Google, so you'll find that first you have to find out which animal, which zebras are in Lake Mburo National Park. And after you find out that they are bushel zebras, you could still ask Google to give you facts about zebras. So you'll find different websites giving you information on these zebras. However, still, if you use AI right and you don't just tell it to describe for you an image, and you tell it to give you facts about zebras, it will also supplement. So it's better if you can use mixed methods, use a bit of facts from Google, and it's better if you use facts that are have also come across from maybe both Google and AI, yeah, and you mash them up to give something concrete as a paragraph. But you'll find many facts from Google. Yeah, so that's how I use Google. Then if I have more time, I even use some. There are books I have that I really didn't use them this time. I used them last time because some information I was just mashing it up. So you can also use those books and they give you more facts. Yeah. Sandra, do I explain myself? Am I clear?
Yeah, it's a good. I think it's the combination of both could really help us
Yeah. Mm,
when we are describing. Yeah.
very true. And as you said,
Timothy,
it's about how you prompt AI.
Timothy,
Yes, please.
I wanted to add that if you get any may describe for you if you ask it, but
Yes.
on the search button of Google there is that camera thing. You can upload your image and it can be able to accurately point out which species that bird is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
On the
yeah,
Google browser.
yeah, on the Google browser, that camera thing is can search a photo. Maybe someone else has ever taken it or what. It can search and give you exact, the exact bird species or animal you're looking at.
Oh,
Yes.
thank you. I didn't know that.
Yes.
Oh, that
That,
cap button. Hey, that's
yes.
what they use it for.
Yes.
I
Then you upload
didn't
the
know.
file and it gives you exactly what you want.
Oh,
Could you do it
excellent.
again, Geoffrey? Could you start the process again? I missed that.
Right. Okay. So I did. I went to Google and then I just tapped on this search by image, and then I selected my image, and then it will bring.
Okay, because I was seeing that part of upload. Okay.
If the thing you can continue and say no if it has not captured your thing very well, and say no it has captured it very well, for something that maybe. But I usually see it when I want to see bird species. It
Mm,
usually gets those birds very well.
mm.
Yeah,
Okay. Thank you, Alvin.
you're welcome.
Uh, okay, so we can proceed. Yes, now the next images of a portrait I took of a buffalo with its scarf. Now, Geoffrey, please scroll down. Okay, so now here I was trying to explain a little more about the poetic titles and descriptive titles. So if you say maternal watch, yeah, that title is fine, but for purposes of Wikicommons, if someone is going to use your image, they may not put in the search button maternal watch, yeah. So those descriptions, we use them more for documentary photography. Depending on which image I took. But if you're going to be poetic with wildlife, the people who are going to be searching for these images to use them in their articles will search buffalo. So your image may miss out. So it's better to use descriptive titles like maybe Cape Buffalo. If you have more than one image, you can add image one because at least you have the fact that it's a Cape Buffalo. So it enables your images to be seen in Wikicommons. The other alternative title could be Buffalo and Calf because they are together. So here I wanted to put some more emphasis on titles, how you work around with titles. Then the caption, an African Cape Buffalo with its calf at Lake Mbura National Park on 31st May 2024. So it's as simple as a sentence. Yeah. What action is going on? It's with its calf. Where? Lake Mbura National Park. When? Date. What is it? An African Cape Buffalo. Then when you go to the description, you give us facts about buffaloes. And sometimes when you're giving facts, there could be so many facts about an animal, but I would recommend that you give facts in relation to your image. If it's a portrait, you like the one for zebra, you can tell us about stripes, what. But if, for example, now I have 3 images of buffaloes. Yeah, the description I chose for this image is a little different from a description for another image, because here I want to describe my image in relation to its calf. So I may not go much into why the horns are shaped like that and the skin, you get. Yeah, so here I say buffaloes are known for their strong social bonds and typically live in herds. Why that was the first line is because this image shows bonding, yeah, between the calf and the buffalo. And they live in herds by the fact that this image was taken from a herd. Then female buffaloes exhibit remarkable maternal instincts, providing intensive care and protection to their calves. As herbivores, buffaloes play a crucial role in maintaining and balancing of ecosystem by grazing on grasses and shaping vegetation. So here, another factor I could have even given that I forgot was the gestation period of buffaloes. Yeah. So yeah, when you're giving facts, try to relate to them to the image, and you may find that some descriptions you can use them on more than one image. For example, if you have 2 portraits of buffaloes, yeah, I think you can use that same description on on another portrait of the same animal to save you time. Any question from so far? Okay. Jeffrey, help me scroll down. Okay, so this is called the village weaver. When it gets to birds, thanks to Alvin, he has given me that option of using Google. Then there is another app I use. It's called let me check for it here. It's called Marlin. Yeah, it's absurd that Miss Tourism is not here. Yeah, but Marlin also you can find it on Play Store. Yes, that one. Yes, it's when it comes to birds, it also is very helpful. There are also books for birds. Because yeah, birds can be confusing. Even on Google, sometimes bird names are confused. Yeah, but I usually follow Marlin. For example, when I used the app, I found out that this bird is called the village weaver. A village weaver. So my caption was a village weaver standing on the branch, looking out in the wilderness of Queen Elizabeth National Park on 2nd June 2024. So you see, this is where the where is important, because this bird, we also found it at Lake Mburo National Park when we are entering. But I took this image in Queen Elizabeth when when we were in for the tea break. So that is how the where and when is important, because now I am specifying where I took this image. Even to those people that traveled with me, they can relate. Oh, this is taken here, but yet the same bird is in 2 different places. Okay, a village weaver. The caption finished. Description: the village weaver is a stocky 15 to 17 centimeter bird with a strong conical bill and dark reddish eyes. Now, these ones you can always find on Google when someone has. There are people who are so much into birding, and they will give you these facts. The breeding male has a black bill, black yellow upper parts, and yellow underparts. Village weavers are renowned for their exceptional nesting building skills. Like we saw those at Lake Mburo. They construct elaborate round-shaped nests woven from grass and palm fibers. These nests are often suspended from end of branches, providing protection from predators. For example, now this description can also work on another image of a village weaver I took when it was the nest was suspended on the end. Yeah. So yeah, so you find that this description is captivating to the person reading, and they may be prompted to either use my image or I give them more information that they didn't have. Yeah, so basically that's it. I used 3 images as a sample to take us through. I also haven't fully captioned mine. I actually have begun with 3. And I am suggesting when you're captioning your images, it is better, number 1, group them. Like after, if you have, let's say, 40 images, group your zebras, group your buffaloes, group your birds, and then create a Microsoft document. I usually sometimes I do one Microsoft document for each animal. Yeah, in the sense that when I am uploading to Wikicommons, after uploading, that is the document I open. I usually don't now. Like you see, this document has three animals. I usually put one animal per document, and I open another. And same thing when you're naming your images, try to name them according to the title. So you can say 1 village weaver, 2 maybe village weaver 1, image 1, village weaver image 2, so that when you are uploading on Wikicommons will capture that title, and maybe you just have to edit the title and remove the first number 1 instead of saying photo 1. If you say photo 1, you're going to have the hard work of copy pasting that title. Yeah. So that is a shortcut. And also when you do one document per image, it helps you limit mistakes, cut down on any mistakes, and yeah, have them categorized. That's my way of doing things. I find that when I do that, it's easier. Yes, please.
On that same point, I don't know if you also do you upload one by one or you upload like many at once?
I upload one by one.
That one takes time. On Commons, you can upload like even let's say as you've suggested that you want to get like 10, 10 photos at once. You can upload them at once, give them a title, give them a caption, description, then also like the categories and what, so that you don't repeat them. There is an option of pasting them across all the images, and then you can go image by image, changing maybe a little on the title or something, but when the other information like categories and what are all filled in for the 20 images, that makes it faster.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Not easy. He's already uploading.
That I think, Alvin, you're more conversant with Wikicommons in that regard. Okay, my fear is making a mistake, because I see when I'm always uploading one by one, first you have to choose which license. I go by 4.0, then put in the title, then description. And once you publish like this way, Papa, you can't undo.
No, you shouldn't publish like how all the images you've uploaded. For example, if you have like one zebra, the same zebra, but looking in different directions, but it's one zebra, you can upload the 5 images of the same zebra, give it the same title, they will allow it. All captions and descriptions is the same. So when you tick on use everything, they will get everything that is on photo 1 across all the 5 photos, so that it becomes simple for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll give it a try. Thank you. I didn't know that existed.
Yeah, you're welcome. Like it makes work simple.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's true. It makes work simple, but also I think to make it safer, sometimes when you when you have bad connectivity, that is where you can face the challenge, because there will be many photos that you'll be
Mm,
uploading. So sometimes it
mm,
can be slow when you don't have good connectivity, but it's an easy way to upload photos, especially when you group them like you suggested, Timothy, that maybe zebras,
mm.
uh, different birds of the same species or spices. Yeah,
Species.
so I think it's easy, but it needs good connectivity of internet.
And usually I struggle with Raika, so I'll try
Ah,
out. I'll try out Alvin's method, but sometimes my Raika lags even on one image. So that's why I do it this way. But I'll try it out that method as well and see how it works.
Yeah,
Thank
you
you,
can wait
Alvin.
for them to load as Geoffrey is showing on the screen. You can
Mm,
decide and tick or untick whatever you don't want. You can say the title, let it be the same, let caption be the same. Maybe you tick whatever you want, and then it will work. For the for the
mm.
for the spaces you've not picked, you can add in manually.
Oh, okay. I get you. I think I get. Also, now you have one image for all the three. I mean, you can have one title for all the three images since it's the title you've given.
Yeah, what Commons will do, it will automatically name it 1, 2, 3, like zebras in Queen Elizabeth I, zebras in Queen Elizabeth II, something like that.
Mm, okay, I get you.
Yeah.
It's a good shortcut. Thank you, Alvin. Any more submissions, guys? Any questions?
maybe
Mine
Geoffrey
is
could show us some practicals.
no, mine is just a comment. I think this was really very helpful, and I think it would even be useful for even people from other communities. So I think, yeah, if it's okay with you, Tim, I think we can have a what what do they call it? During Wiki Loves Africa, there is always like office hours. I think every week. So like the session where someone was sharing like photography with phones. I think yeah, we can request so that you also do a presentation for captioning, because I think this is really would really be helpful for even other people within the wider community. And very many people don't know how to actually do captioning, and I think this will be helpful. Yes, I just wanted to say
Okay,
thank you.
you're welcome. It's very fine. Vanessa, any submissions or questions? Jeffrey has left. Oh,
Oh
stop
no, I just
sharing your
stopped
screen.
sharing my screen, but I'm still here. But I think what we can do, like in next steps, everyone can just apply what you have told us to
Mm,
yeah, to upload their photos, and yeah, if anyone maybe has done like a caption and wants you to review it, maybe they can share it in like share the photo and the caption in the WhatsApp group for people here to give them any feedback or comments. But I think for me, I think the thing that I've learned today mostly is that difference between the caption and description. I've always been confusing that. Um, like sometimes I could write a short caption and then I just reuse it as the description, but now I think I know the difference. Yeah.
mm,
Okay, I have a question.
mm,
Okay, the way I see Wikimedia Commons show the photos, it's as if when someone is looking at a particular photo, what will come up as a title will be the caption. I don't know if everyone has seen that. I don't know how we can go around that, because most times when you see a photo, what is on top as title is usually what these people captioned, not the title that they put.
Really?
One thing. One thing I've seen is when I click publish, the caption comes up. But when you go to search, I'm very sure that's where the title becomes important.
I think the search looks for the title. I think so as well.
Not,
And
I think it's when you're uploading, that's when the caption comes on top.
yes,
Mm.
yes, yes. When you click publish, the caption comes on top. But when you're
Yes.
searching, it
Yeah.
it it will search by title. However, remember, if your caption is fine, it should partly involve what animal you have photographed. So part of your caption should be, the title should be a subset of your caption in a way.
Yeah. Maybe the other thing that we have not touched here that is helpful is the wiki data items. So like when you're uploading on the last page, after you have actually uploaded the photos, the Wikimedia Commons ask you to add a Wikidata item. So yeah, it will ask you like, what does this photo depict? Is it an animal? Is it a buffalo? Is it a national park? Is it a bird? So I think those Wikidata items also help search engines when they are looking for photos. So it's a step which can be ignored because it's not mandatory, but I think it just helps to make your photos more useful when you add the Wikidata item.
Mm. Yeah. Also, please don't forget categories. They are the most crucial. Those your images will be outside.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Moses, any question?
Not really. I really don't have a question because I've really been paying so much attention and I've kind of got the idea of how everything is supposed to be done, the captioning and the description, yeah, and the naming of the pictures. Yeah.
Okay. Kale. Guys, I think that's it from me. Uh, yeah. Thanks for your time and listening to me.
Thank you too.
Thank
Thank you,
you,
Timothy.
Timothy.
You're welcome.
Shafiq has been quiet. I hope he's okay.
Maybe
Yeah,
maybe we can give ourselves a deadline for uploading our photos. Should we say by the end of this week or by this same time next week?
Maybe let's hear from everyone. So, which deadline do you think could be possible? Shafiq, I'll start with you. You've been quiet.
yeah. I also had something like maybe to comment about. Um, yeah. Timo, when you get that the one that Geoffrey has been talking about, the one for like Africa Hour, something like that. When you are making the presentation, I think what we should ignore it is how maybe we comment on certain things. For instance, the AI, because what I saw somewhere, you were like trying to be biased. Then again, in the end, you're like, okay, it depends on how you use it, which I think it is the right thing because I've attended some summits where there is a lot of experts who know how to use AI, and they've been trying to do what we call image generation, and like how they prompt it to like generate those images, they can stick to the exact image. Like when you're creating like maybe a folk story, something like that, an African folk story, they can keep like the same characters on how they prompt it, like those way they do it, and they can even like tell some of them that like the kind of image they need. Like they give the description of the camera, the model, and they give it the angles, what like a lot of things they do. So sometimes how we concluded it was very okay, because it's like for us, we like they just tell us there's AI, it does this and this, we use it for this and this, but then we don't know how to use it very well. I think that is something we should look into, or you should look into when you're doing your presentations. And also, when it was introduced, very many people thought it was actually going to take their jobs. But the issue is not like the AI taking their jobs. Now, if you look at, like Jeffrey talked about, um, I think the exaggeration, and now this is where, if you're someone who is writing articles on Wikipedia, I think we understand the language that is needed in Wikipedia. So human intervention still comes in, like AI is there to give you just assistance. Then us, the human, we are there to do the final part. It's not all about copying and pasting. So like it gives you an idea, look for it, then take what you want. Like don't take everything, just take what you want. For the deadline, I think we need to do it as early as possible because we are actually running out of time, and we still have less than 300 photos. I think we have something like 250, which is, I think very many photos were uploaded by just one person. So I think we need to do it as early as possible. I can't decide on a deadline, but I think we need to do it as early as possible. That's all I can say for now.
Okay, thank you so much, Shafiq, for the addition in regards to AI and your comment on the timeline. I think to enable us maybe move forward, we would agree on a suitable date that would work for everyone, and then we can agree on when to have the photos uploaded. Um, because I think the deadline is 15th July, right?
Yeah,
A suggestion of if we could upload it by 10th of July. I don't know. Moses, is that fine for you? Vanessa, just say yes. Timothy, or no? Geoffrey, Alvin.
Yeah, I think that's okay for me because I see it creates more time to concentrate and really find out amazing captions and descriptions.
Yeah, 10th July is
Okay.
also fine with
Okay. Alvin. Alvin
Alvin
has
is
put done as a thumb up, so I think it's okay with that. Geoffrey has
me.
also put a thumb up. Shafiq, you're saying something?
now we're saying Alvin is for NRL.
Wow,
uh,
people power.
okay, okay.
Don't forget power.
I think since we have agreed on that, yeah, we could then ensure that maybe we submit photos by 10th of July, The deadline is for submission is 15th July, but I think since we are working as a group and we have agreed to this, we can submit that. So I think that is it really. But thanking Timothy for taking time to organize such a great presentation, and good thing that this meeting is being recorded, so we can also save it and maybe share the most valuable part with people who might be able to maybe use this knowledge to enhance their knowledge, especially in capturing photos or images during the campaign and other campaigns, photographic campaign. Yeah, so in case maybe we don't have any other thing, maybe we can wish each other good night and